평소처럼 그림자 속에서 나를 공격하는 거냐, 데미?
응, 결국 내 사랑하는 인간을 혼자 두는 건 불가능해.
翔さん、私の道を持ってきてくれませんか?
没机会.
Can we just start already? Our audience aren't that patient.
Coca-Colas have been a
Tamsukin
vital
soda.
part of zombies
I'm digging
ever
for a
since they
speed
first
cola.
got introduced.
Jung, why
back
the
in
hell
the
did
World
Kevin
War
and
days.
Demi
I
say
remember
about
seeing the
soft
Baroque
drinks
trailer
all of
for
a
the
sudden?
very first time
It's
and seeing
Coca-Cola.
Trout
Both
announce
Demi
that
and
4
Kevin are
Coca-Colas
fans of the
had been
drinks,
added to the game,
aside
and I
the
was just
zombie
so
mode.
damn excited to see
Come
what the
now,
new perks
main
were all
wife.
about. However,
We have our
throughout the
preferences
years,
in
we
video
endlessly
games,
bought
after
perks
all.
over and over
Let's
again
just hope that
without
they're not
actually knowing
harmful.
what they're made out of. However, thanks to Cold War Zombies, we were able to look at the back of the cans, which reveal the ingredients used. So in today's video, we're going to go through a whole bunch of perks and see what the perks are actually made out of. Now, first up in line, we have Quick Revive. This perk is made out of trench water, which would obviously give you diarrhea straight
Looks like he
away,
won't be planning
and
to
lots
drink
of
them
other
anytime
serious health
soon.
conditions.
Agreed.
As I imagine, it would not be filtered whatsoever. We also have Chicken Broth Concentrate,
多分
which I guess
何
would
か
add
他
some
のも
type
のを
of
飲んだ方がいい
flavor.
ですよ、
We have
旦那さん。
Adrenaline,
あなた
which
のは
works
家
by
行くの代わりに
stimulating our
抹茶がいい
nervous
です
system to give us a boost of energy.
恥ずかしくないの?
Ammonium
Mon
salts, which
Dieu,
is used in a
c'était
performance
étonnamment lascif
enhancement
de ta
called smelling
part.
salt.
그녀가 당신에게 그녀의 사랑을 마시게 한 것 같네요. 어쩌면 물린 자국이라도 괜찮을까요?
Demi, pull yourself together. Don't let Kasumi's obsessive attention get ahead of you.
我没法看.
How dare she? Got him to drink her. Love nectar?
次の精霊に狩る悪魔は言う。
적어도 당신의 건강 위험에 비하면 나는 그에게 해가 되지 않아요. Was that fucking holy rounds?
Welcome to America, Demi.
Anchovy paste, which gives it that authentic fishy smell. And finally, feline urea, which is basically cat's urine, and it's where Dempsey's iconic line about Quick Revive comes from.
Tastes like fermented herring dipped in cat piss. Ugh.
Next up in line, we have Speed Cola. Now this perk contains carbonated water, which is what makes the drink fizzy, glucose, which is a simple sugar which turns into a form of energy, cola nut extract, which is actually spelt with a K in real life, and is a fruit of the cola tree, which resides in West Africa. Now from what I've seen online, apparently it's very bitter, and it can also be found in soft drinks such as Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and many more. Speed
Boozy
Cola
way
also
cheap.
contains hydrolyzed crank, which is the slang name for meth.
Looks like
It
you've
also
been a very
contains
bad boy
caffeine,
today,
which of course
Kevin.
is the stuff inside
Better
coffee
start
and lots of
calling
energy
Saul,
drinks
or give me a baby.
like
Fine,
Red Bull,
you win,
Monster.
Jacqueline.
Now this ingredient
나도
is a little
미래의
hard to
엄마가
say,
될래요.
but I think it's
How about
pronounced
after this?
guarana.
Already
And
a
basically, it's a
landslide.
climbing plant which is used as a tonic or a stimulant, and it resides in South Africa, and it actually contains a whole load of caffeine, so Speed Cola is bound to keep you awake, boy. It also contains taurine, which is a very important amino acid found inside our bodies, which helps with our physical endurance along with health support such as digestion, weight management, and so on. And lastly, it contains cayenne pepper, which of course is one of the spiciest peppers in the world. And just remember this, guys, whatever goes in will eventually come out. So
Is
you
that why
better
you
pray
were
for protection
hospitalized,
after drinking some
burnt
Speed
ample
Cola.
posterior?
Next up on the list, we have
That was one
stamina.
time, Jung.
And to start
旦
off
那
with,
さ
we
ん、
have lemon
辛い
juice,
食べ物をはみ出
lime
してバラン
shavings,
スの取れたも
high
のを食べた
octane
方が良いのではない
gasoline,
で
which
しょう
is
か。
outrageous, but it also
Wakata,
makes
honey.
sense because
幸好
this
我
is
不
where
喝那些
Dempsey
东西。
also gets his lime from.
Whoa, that was sour. Wow.
There's also vitamin K, which helps to regulate our blood sugar, protects the immune system and so forth. Then we have capsaicin, which is basically just a spicy chemical. And then lastly, we have jumping bean extract. Now,
Who
the
in the
whole
right
term
mind
jumping
would drink
bean
that?
extract is not
Demi,
an actual
who
thing.
else?
But jumping beans, however, are formed from a moth laying their eggs inside of a bean pod, and then a larva will populate inside, which is what causes them to jump around as they expand. They're kind of freaky, I won't lie, but there you go. Next up on the list, we have Juggernog. Now the first ingredient is carbonated milk. Now as far as I know
제가
from
어렸을 때
researching,
가장
this is a
좋아했던 것.
popular
I really
drink
need
that
to
you can
travel
find in
more
East
often.
Asia.
그럼
I never actually knew
자클린
about this
한국어를
until
배우기
today.
시작하세요.
It also contains powdered crocodile eggs,
Is
which
that why the
explains where all that
Juggernog
protein
is
is actually
expensive?
coming from.
Market-wise,
And this is the funny
yes.
thing, because you'd think it's similar to a normal egg, but actually when you crack it open, it basically has some type of jelly texture, and it's actually white instead of that classic yellow that we all are used to. And again, this is very popular over in East Asia.
Not
Juggernog
surprised.
also contains spinach juice, pure gumption, which basically just means courage, and it's fortified with iron, which makes sense as it keeps us strong and your body needs it for growth, etc. Now we have
케빈이 두 번째로
Deadshot.
좋아하는
First
것.
ingredient is denatured
A
rum,
naughty boy
which is
and a daredevil,
extremely
huh?
toxic. We've got
Let's see
cane
if you can
sugar,
keep that attitude
strawberry
up on
oil,
bed.
Have
ginseng,
mercy, would
which
you?
is basically
I didn't
a herb,
know.
No
turmeric,
promises
which
there.
I believe is like, I know what it is, but I don't know how to describe it. I think it's some type of spice, if you will. Then we have Ginkgo biloba, and have no idea how to say that. I probably butchered it. but again, I couldn't really find anything online about this. And lastly, we have dehydrated eye of Newit, which is basically just another term for mustard. So again, probably a little bit spicy. Next up, we have elemental pop. Now this is made up of bromide seltzer,
Hold on,
and this was
isn't that
created
stuff
in the
toxic?
mid-1800s.
Yeah, it
and
was
actually
used to treat
cure
headaches in the
headaches.
past,
However,
but
in
it's now illegal due
1975,
to its
this thing got shut
toxicity.
down as
Thank God,
reports
I'm
say
not
it was
that
highly
stupid.
toxic. We also have calcium, chromium, phosphates, magnesium, zinc, and sulfur,
Ang marado
and these are all
그렇게 미친 사람은
basically chemical
아니니까.
elements.
재미없어.
And lastly, we have Ethereum, which of course isn't a real thing. It's basically the purple stuff you see laying around in the dark ether. And that's pretty much all I know about it. Next up on the list, we have tombstone. And the first ingredient for this is embalming fluid, which is actually used to
驚きはしない。
prevent
彼女は
decomposition.
結
Then we
局
have
半額
chalk
魔なのだから。
suspension, which is why
Jesus, Demi.
Stuhlinger says
Is
it
that
tastes
why you
like
liked
chalk.
Tombstone
Duplicated
soda?
spirits,
Guilty
which
as
is some sort of
charged.
alcohol used inside of a printer. Then we have perk essence. I have no idea what's going on with that. And lastly, we have vistoelastic liquid silicone, which
I'm
is
getting some
essentially the stuff you
ibuprofen for
use when you're
this.
making molds, etc. And now we move on to an absolute classic, which everyone loves, Mule Kick. This perk contains beer,
Something
liquid
is
cordite,
rising,
which
and
is
it's
actually an
Jacqueline's
explosive,
American will.
Cola
Wanna
nut,
find
which
out?
is exactly what's
No,
used in
thanks.
speed cola. Trigger finger extract, again, completely made up, but it sounds awesome. Then of course we have vitamin B12 gauge, which is a cool little spin
I'm
Treyarch
adding that to
added,
my
as
vocabulary.
vitamin B12 is needed to keep the body's nerve and blood cells healthy. But of course they added the gauge part as a reference to a shotgun. And lastly, we
Literally
have a
Jacqueline's
warning
favourite.
sign, which
Shame
says,
that
"May
I was
contain
first to
hot
have a
lead,"
kid,
which of
and
course
our little
is
Crawford is
extremely
getting a
toxic.
sibling.
And
Thank
the
God I
final
went
perk
for
to
Elon
round
Musk
off the
route.
list is PhD slider. This actually contains castor oil, which is a
Hold
type
on,
of
why
vegetable
castor oil?
It also contains
I think I
natural
understand
glycerin,
why
which
drinking
can help
PhD
treat chest
flopper
pain.
makes
It
you
has
a literal
powdered graphite,
explosive.
which is an
At
element
least you
of
won't die
carbon.
by falling.
Blasting
No
cat
arguments
extract,
there.
again, no idea what it is. And lastly, they have distilled banana pill, which helps you slide. Now, some of you might be thinking, hold up, what about the boy Double Tap? Well, unfortunately,
No, not my second favorite.
"好吧，如果你不能打败他们，我想就加入他们吧。